Collective energy reading. Please only take what resonates. Leave the rest for the best. So nobody else stress. If it's not for you, give it to your boo. If it's not for your boo, give it to your brethren too. Right, we're back in Exodus. It's always a movement of us, Jah people. Right, so it's that period of testing time. For testing us. And others are getting tested. For those who sinned against us. Through all those transgressions, what they've done towards you, hurt, pain, anything that was done towards you, even testing those of the resilience, of your resilience, on your guidance, on your provision, on the way how you're trusting in the Spirit, or in the Most High God, in the divine source, how you're taking your leadership and seeking the divine direction. These divine feminines, masculines, family members need to be seeking that direction. They're challenging their environment and their community at this time, in this moment. Take it all as it resonates. Keep telling you lot, leave the rest for the best. Because where there is hardship faced, they are now praying and seeking for divine intervention. Divine intervention is needed to be able to take place. It's that time where it's needed for you to get into that promised land. Those individuals want to come to the promised land. They want joy. They want peace. Move out my way. They want a prosperity. They want to be able to come to you. They want to be flying like these flies into your face, directly to you. So they're having this uncertainty because they don't know how to get to this promised land. They need to have that wake-up call. And they've been going to the potter's house, back and forth, in and out. They've been on that spinning wheel. They took the donkey's head off. They put the donkey's head back on. They tried to go through the transformations. They went back out there. They was too set in stone. So they set out of the desert of sin. And they're between that refreshment place now and the abundant state and getting the enlightenment and that hardship and trying to free in their time, because they're looking at the constellations from the comforts that they needed, and they don't want to that, because now they're looking at the losses and they're disappointed, and they may be suffering, and they may be in distress, and they may be needing relief, and they wanted some encouragement in these difficult times. So they're looking at the truths now. So the truths are being revealed to them by the goodness of love, joy and peace, what is around them and what's not around them. And they're now into cleansing all of these bad energies and these sins from Elam. That time of complete blessing. They need that complete blessing now. They needed to take action. They wanted to provide and supply with something for a use. So they could be coming to you to take you and supply you with something for a use. They may be wanting to come with even new contracts. Even they could even come with some challenging lessons and levels of transport. They could be even changing your levels of transport. They could be changing their level of transport and setting aside an amount of money in the account to say, oh, there, that's for you. So you never know, these people might be coming back to sweet talk you and give you something, and we want an agreement, or preparing something for some time ahead to come. So just look out, or they're preparing for some time ahead to come that you don't know about. And this could be some plans of refreshing their self for their spiritual revelations, and they want to take refuge to you because they're having their divine revelations and they're looking back at certain things. They want to be in your presence. They want to be able to come, interact and communicate to you, but they need to be able to come into your face. And they want unconditional agreement. And it could be a subjective one, and there could be more conditions in place, or you could be putting conditions in place. And you could be saying your own conditional agreements, you like in what your requirements, what you're needing and how your needs need to be met. And it will happen, or it will continue happen if that don't happen. So you're just enlightening this person, or this person could be coming to enlighten you to come and state these things. Depend, take it where it resonates. So the important thing is about submitting to your will. So they've got to submit to your will, no matter what, how they wanting to do it. Because remember, they've done you a wrong. You didn't do them a wrong. They've done you a wrong. So they've got to submit to your will. And it's that turning point of transmuting and transitioning from that state of bondage to what they was bound to. Because they were so used to being into bondage. They thought the covenant of pilgriming in that journey for that promised life and that growth and that exploration, that pathway was to encounter hardship, but they really encountered hardship in the direction they went, and they didn't realize that pathway was with you. And they're now looking at the devotion and the joy and the love to the promised land, because they see that you're still joyful, you're loving, you're in that promised land. So on the 15th day of the second month, so this may be the 15th of May, so look out, something, these divine masculines, feminines could be coming back, creeping up on you, and they're coming out of Egypt. So just think about it. They're coming from the land of Egypt. People are going to be grumbling. People are going to be shouting. They're going to be upset. But you just hold your leadership. Remember thyself. Know thyself. Because you got deliverance. And there's new beginnings coming your way. Whether it's new beginnings with this person, or you're telling this person, see you later, goodbye. I'm on my own journey. because you're standing steadfast in yourself, because you're going towards freedom like Moses. And they gain their strength. So they're gaining their strength and they want to be able to come and move forward like Moses. And they're moving like Aaron in order to be able to get their spiritual guidance. So they're listening to the Spirit now. So they're elevating some strong evidence. So some evidence must be coming. They could be even coming to show you some evidence. They could even want to be showing you some evidence because they see you as a pillar. They see your strength and your stability that you uphold. You're gaining and you're unfolding and you're feeling your own principles, what you're needing. You're just seeing your reality in their own state, and now they're seeing it in a higher mind. They're looking at their higher self and they're using a holistic perceptions of their reality. So they're uniting all things as oneness now, like their mind and their brain. They're connecting it. So it's that frequency and that's that tempo of what should have been, because their mind and their body's getting connected. So they could be listening to music. They could have had a desire to even know of the sins, because these divine feminines, the masculine, the family members, even your friends, they didn't know what was good for them. And they didn't know how to choose or to get themselves out of sin because they're so used to sin. And they were sinning in the unknown of a God life. So they were sinning in front of you and they didn't even know that you was not like that. And they were so used to it. They was familiar with them hardships of slavery and sin. So of them, other people using and abusing them, taking advantage of them. So they was used to be taken advantage of. So they didn't even know better to be able to do better. They were so used to going out there partying and living that lifestyle that you would enjoy yourself, but you knew when to know better. You listened to the Spirit and told yourself to sit down. You had to go through the hardships. You know about hardships, but you chose not to be staying in there. You chose to be able to lift yourself up, raise your frequency, raise your vibration. And you was able to go in the wilderness. But they were scared to go into the wilderness. They was feared the unknown. And they clinged on to all that negativity. And they clinged on to all the badness. And they didn't realise that you was just real and raw. You just kept on moving forward. They thought you was like too good to be true. They didn't realise that, yeah, you could do the ghetto life. Yeah, you can do that stuff. But you knew when to draw back. You knew when time was enough. You knew when you had to move out of that struggle. And you knew what struggle was. Because you was used to it. And they didn't even know how to trust in you. Because you knew that, yeah, I've been there. Let's move it on a different page. Identify certain things. Recognise how we're going to make that positive change in order to be able to move forward. Okay, that's needed to be able to make. So if you do that, and you do that, or yeah, you can create this part and do that part. But they didn't have that initiative. And they enslaved themselves in that sin. And they clinged on to all the images and the comforts of having these possessions. And the pots. Because the pots were so heavy and it was full of meat. All that luxury lifestyle. They was playing, they was having the cars, they was having the joys, they was having all that luxury. And didn't even want to wake up and pay attention. Because they should have paid attention to you. For they was romanticising. And now they're romanticising on the past and the perfect familiars of hardships. Over the uncertainties what they had. And they've never felt that way before. And they got scared. When they was around you, 08, you must have gave them balance. You must have gave them understanding. They got scared and they ran. They took action. And they seen success in a different direction. And you see success in a different direction. And you was at recognition. So you continued moving forward. Because you knew what was fair and wasn't fair. And they flared you. And they moved because they lacked control. They didn't know how to take control. They needed control. But because they wasn't sure of the uncertainties, they lacked trust within inside of you. And they didn't know and want to listen to the leadership that you was guiding and showing, and to be able to work together in order to be able to build, to make, to create. And within that, you ended up losing trust. So that trust was gone. And they lost the trust within inside of you. And you did just continued and you trusted in the divine plan. And you looked at the challenges and you was looking at the circumstances. But when you'd identified it, you was on your own, so you was doing this all by yourself. And they didn't remember when you helped them and you supported them and helped focused on their little things, what they was going through. You was a mediator for them when they was going through their discomforts. And they forgot about your deliverance when you was helping them when they was in Egypt at certain prior times. And they starved you to death. They left you in ruin. They let the bread grain down from heaven. For you, that food of knowledge, you just continuously making that bread fall down in heaven. You listen to your vibrations, you vibrated I. You logically start processing information and understanding the structures of the realities. Now they're trying to logically process the information and all the hurt and all the pain and all the things that they've done. They're starting to use the right side of the brain because they were just so in their left side brain. They were set in their ego. They was in their serpent energy. They was moving from the low state, rather than scraping it from the right side. And now they're collecting it together. and they could have been working collectively as a whole with you if they was moving in the right direction. Like when you was using your right side of brain, you're now searching for the higher self. So they're starting to search for the higher self, and they're moving to their higher mind, and they're reaching higher and higher, and it's testing them, and it's testing their obedience, it's testing their knowing, all the things that they perceived and felt from the days from when they was young till now. Psalms 82 verse 6, I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. Know thyself. But they didn't know thyself. They was lost because they were so stuck in sin. They were stuck in that hardship. They were stuck in their mind, that low state, wanting, needing, wanting, and just quickly. So Corinthians 2:4 verse 18, while we look not at the things which are seen, but the things which are not seen. For the things that are seen are temporal. They don't realize it was temporary. But the things that are unseen, it's eternal. They couldn't see how they was going to be able to build and how they was going to be able to do that. They just wanted it quick, fast. And they didn't trust that God provides in the spirit. Genesis 2:9-7. God breathes life into the nostrils of man. So if God's breathing life into the nostrils of man, it's going to help us, it's going to support us. God breathes spirit into us. Breath and spirit are the same thing. They've been tested. You was tested to stand in love and stand in joy and stand in peace and stand in hope. And on that 6th day, that's when it will be the 21st. So from the 15th, the 6th day from the 6th day from the 15th will be the 21st of May. So you'll be learning your values. They're learning their values. You're trusting in your core and your abundant, your provision, so you can keep moving forward, because you know that you're going towards the love, the joy, the hand of bunny and pride. You're holding that steadfast. So these are getting their spiritual awakenings, and their spiritual and their physical well-being. They're looking at these aspects now, and they're looking at you, and they can see that you're moving forward without any hesitation. And they're gathering all of their knowledge up now to be able to keep on moving forward. And they're looking at all their daily needs, and they're going to be able to bring up more than a portion of a share. So they're wanting to be able to come and give and share and give it to ability for you to be able to flow towards you. And this is a test of obedience as well as the ability to be able to follow their instructions, that they'd listen to the divine order. They're praying for reflection because they need to be able to have that understanding. They need to be able to know where they're going. They're thinking how to be able to come. They're praying and listening to the Spirit now. And you know, and they know it. And the way that it was made up, it was awakening for them. They needed that spiritual awakening. And it's for that helps for their own self to raise their own frequency within. It's gaining that knowledge and that understanding to be able to use a pure heart and be praising, because they want to praise and honor you because they're feeling you within their heart. So they want to be able to return to you because they see you as that true worthy value, and they see your value. They see that you've got nourishment. They can see the greatness within inside of you. They know that you are that one, and others will be grumbling, such as these karmics. They'll be grumbling and complaining because they're being bad-tempered, and they're preventing these from accessing certain things, because now these karmics are not going to be able to access the luxury, the things what they was wanting to buy and selling goods, because they thought they was feeling nice now, because they thought they was earning funds, they thought they was gaining luxury. They could have been doing it and doing it through computer, through data, some electronic things as well, and working online, so they could have been trying to gain money. I'm doing it on platforms and mobile apps and social media apps, or they're even watching you on your platform apps and social media apps, and they're grumbling against you. Keep grumbling. Don't hate, just meditate. That's all they need to do. They was wrecked, and they was out of wreck, and they was doing it out of maliciousness because they wanted it. They wanted these possessions for their own greed. Because remember, they was in that 7 sins. They're in the land of Egypt. They don't know better, so they can't do better. And if they know better, they would do better. They would sit down, they would meditate, they wouldn't hate, they'd listen to the spirit within inside of them, they'd raise their frequency and raise their vibrations. But they're coming before you because they heard about you, and they're grumbling. So these karmics might even come and tell you and state something to you, because they're on that cloud to be able to come and reveal something. But that they have to go reveal it to themselves, because they're getting that divine awareness. To be able to awaken their ass up, they need to pay attention. They need to go beyond their own limitations and beyond their own illusions. And remember their infinite nature. Just as you know your infinite nature, you've gone beyond your own limitations. You didn't know how you was going to get through certain situations. You didn't know how you was going to do certain things. But you continuously kept on moving forward. You kept on possessing your self-awareness, that cosmic light within. Turning it on with love and moving forward and looking at the lambs and looking at the brain and looking at your emotional memories and looking at the social bondings and the new neuro connections to your brain. And that was a critical thinking for your IU reasoning. Now, these divine feminines and masculines have got to go through the same things because they want to be able to claim shelter. They're looking in direction under your leadership because they see you've got wisdom. They see you've got understanding. And they was lacking that. And they was moving like a natural baby. They had the urge to be able to explore. And you had the urge to be able to explore a process of the divine, the knowledge and the wisdom of the universe, and becoming aware and wanting more information. You were seeking knowledge. Now they're becoming aware and they're wanting more information and they're seeking a way towards you. And that spiritual evolution within inside of them, that divine partner, they see you as that. That's talking, thoughts. They're looking at their self now. They're talking to their thoughts and they're looking at the way out of bondage. And you must have fell in love with these consequences. They fell in love with them desires. So they're looking at the desires that they was looking at and knowing it's not what they really wanted. Because they was wanting to refine now from sexual activities. They need to be able to fast. They need to be able to transform from being in fear. They need to do that death. They need to regain their consciousness. They need to go through that process of ascensions. They have to look from that fear and transmute that fear into a Holy Spirit. So they can enter to be able to reveal the wisdom. To be able to lead them to be able to get to that gold. And that's from matter into spirit. So they've got that cloud was there to be able to reveal these things to these divine feminines and masculines, to be able to guide them. Because it was a twilight. It was to be able to eat the meat in the morning, and it was to be able to fill them with the bread of emotions in order for them to be able to create and make a decision through the discipline, for the consequences of their mental well-being and the willpower, to be able to gain control over those thoughts and those feelings, to be able to achieve mastery of no longer being swayed by emotions and allowing them to be able to manifest back towards them in a badful way. They've got to keep on moving forward. They've got to know that and do the rightful thing, because now they're wanting to be able to turn back, and they need you in their life because something keeps pulling them back, and they need you in their life. They're feeling that force of love. They're feeling it within the heart chakra. So these divine feminines, masculines, your friends, the family, they're gaining dominion over their emotions now. They're getting control over their thoughts. They're controlling their mind and their thoughts and their feelings, and it's leading them right back to their highest good. And their highest good is you. And they're willing to know now, because it's a true divine music that's playing within their ears. And now it's close, and they're wanting these new beginnings for victory and that battle, to be able to overcome those challenges that they put you through, that you went through. And they're trying to spring the cycle of life to be able to return. They want to be able to reincarnate the love that you upholded, because you're lucky. You're their lucky charm. That's how they see you. They see you as a charm, and they feel that you're bringing them prosperity and success. And when you're around them, you bring prosperity and success towards them. They feel in this on an emotional level, and it's constructed and it's turning into their grace, because they're now looking and thinking, oh my gosh, that is where I wanted to be. See, they see that you're resilient and you're protected, and you spring with new renewal. You're continuously moving. You've got a different nature. You've got a different nurture. Your cycle is recurrent changing, and you're able to be able to have your camp. And they come into Drew like you're Julie. They're seeing that you're refreshing. They see that you're prude and an instruction to something, or more important matter. You gain instructions, you get that reminders, because you love and you care, and you're purity, and you're clean, and you're calm, and your heart, and it's clean within your heart, and your mind, your body, and your soul. You're enabled to be able to help other people by cleansing. And in the eyes of God, they see you like in the eyes of God. They want fulfillment to that promised land, because they see that where you are, it's all joy, it's peace, calm and collected. And they wanted provision, and they're looking for provision for you. And they're like Mona, and they want to come and offer and help support. And it could be in a time of need when you may need this, because they're wanting to be able to rely on them now, because they're going to feel that they need to want to provide for you your needs. They want to be able to give you nourishment. They may even tell you that they may need nourishment themselves, because they're hurting. They've stored too many of the values of the objects of carefully granted towards you. And you may need to look at these offerings, and they may need help. or they may even need help to come and bring it towards you, because they gave these divine feminines and masculines bread to eat, love, last supper, corresponding the aspects of their consciousness. And that is associated with the fixed signs. So they're looking at the zodiacs, because Jesus represented the importance of teaching. So they're looking at you, and they're seeing the teaching. So these divine masculines, families and friends are collectives. They're looking at the 4 aspects of your consciousness, and they're looking at the 4 aspects of their consciousness, how to navigate and how to move through these mental emotions, and the spiritual, the physical, and all within you, striving for that balance and harmony within inside your conscious mind, just so you can stay balanced, so you can stay pure and true to yourself. That true divine light that shines, that radiates all around you, like Luke springs earth from the body. So you're just bringing that true divineness from your body. Mark is like the summer for that fire spirit, for you to keep on moving, going. Jesus is I am. I am the sun and soul, because the soul within you. And John is the fall, winter, and that's all of your emotions. That's John was water. Matthew was winter, and that's your air, and that's all within your mind. And that all needs to be united with inside of you. And you united all of those energies. You just embodied each and every single one of them collectively. You was listening to the word, because that bread was the word. That was the knowledge. And it gave you that understanding to be able to step back, step forward, get understanding. Now these divine masculines have got to go through that spiritual repentance, allowing their consciousness to be able to take over, so they can continuously keep on moving forward. And they're trying to manifest you back in the physical now, because that's how you manifest, when you've got all of those aligned, to be able to mirror all those 12 corneal nerves, to carry the will of the mind. And those words are within you, because these words, what we speak, are very powerful, and they're enlightened. You've enlightened these. You was that big divine change to them, to not be bound by limitations or the physical. You was guided by that higher awareness, to be enlightened when you was going and they was putting you in sin, and they was hurting you, dismantling you. They could have been abusing you. They could have been making you feel low, hurt and in pain, distress. You had that awareness, and you just continuously moving with that spirit to be able to enable yourself to get to that harmonious relationship with inside of your body. Now they're getting led, and they want to be able to come and have a harmonious relationship alongside of you, providing you to your needs, and you providing them to their needs and desires. And they want to be able to sum, and people are going to be grumbling, just moaning, because they're not going to want you to be near this person. This person's not going to want, they're not going to want you to be near them. And they needed to be trusting in your grace, and they want you to trust in their grace, because you're being tested. And you may have already been tested, but it's still another test. And you are adequate. You are worthy. They may give you an adequate amount of something essential for your needs. It did say it prior before. Lol, good food. Some good food. So they may want some good food. So you just be mindful, because you are enough and you are sufficient. And they're holding the faith, and they want you to hold the faith and be resilient and continuously keep on moving forward. They know they need you. They want you in their life. They're now letting go of all of these earthly substances, and they're trying to overcome these challenges, what they've faced. And they see you as fulfillers, and they're not herd to these resources out of fear. You just trusted in the continuous provision. You're being tested, and you are just collectively gained the knowledge. You trusted in God's will, provided for your needs, trusted in the divine, having that divine timing, and you know things come in divine timing. It is more than lasting love. It's the bread of life. You don't need to be worrying about this. You don't worry about nothing. Your future, you just rely on the fulfillment, because the divine's got you, and it's all within inside of you. And some may not pay attention to this. Some may not even listen. But they need to clean, and they need to renew those maggots. Some are out of old, and they're stale, and they dated, and these comics are out, and they're old, and they're dated, and they're stale, and they can't take it. They're hurting, they're feeling riddled, because they're wanting all the things that you got. But they don't realise they're trying to act like they're pure, clean and cleanliness, but they're full of maggots. They're getting burdened right now. These divine feminines and masculines, friends, family members, they're breaking down to dead matter. They're letting go of what no longer serves them, to be able to make a return, to be able to renew, to regrowth and positive changes, positive energy, with inside of them to be able to come to you because they see that with inside of you. And now they respect you because of all these things. And they're no longer trying to control their feelings. They're angry now. They're allowing all the godness of the instructions to be able to overcome due to the consequences that was disobedient towards their actions towards you. They want to be with you. Each and every day they know they've got to lack of trust. So they're feeling this. You're living rent free in their mind because they know this. Due to all the negative consequences that they've been doing through all instability and the inability to appreciate you when they had you in their life. So now they're angry for listening and following others, leading them to negative outcomes. And they thought they was moving forward like, yeah, I'm going to get the car, I'm going to get the house and all this and that. And yeah, let's do this. Oh yeah, we're going to go where, and that's going to happen. Oh yeah, this and this. And then when it comes down to the crunch, it didn't work. They use your shared gifts and your information in order to obtain these things. And they didn't even hold you in timely gatherings with that. They was obliged and they was diligent and resilient. And now they're no longer relying on past resources. They can't even rely onto these karmics. And now they want you, these divine masculines and feminines and family members and friends. They want to move away from all these people who brought them bad influences. So they're the karmic ones. Negative energies, low vampires, drawing out you get me, what they want from you. So now you're trusting in yourself and these are trusting in their self. What a coincidence. And now they're preparing. So they're preparing to be able to come because they're taking note each and every day. They're marking their time and they're making their meaning things and they're looking at it. They're wanting that divine guidance because they're preparing and they're acknowledging your role in their life. And you could have been lacking trust in these divine masculines and feminines. And now they're lacking trust in these karmics. And you just need to be able to trust in the divine because you kept on blowing the divine control. And these karmics was wanting control. And they're trying to control hard resources. They're trusting in the divine guidance. They're thinking they're doing it on a rightful accord, and it's not. It's not inconstructive for them. And you just sit and rested, and you're just trusting in the divine source, and you just know you can move it forward. And they're moving like coriander seeds, coming or falling in lust. These divine masculines, they want to come to you like a coriander seed because you're spiritually connected. And these karmics could have used coriander seeds to try and do love potions on them. Because I didn't know you could do that, but it tells you in the Bible that you can. I didn't know you could do that. So these have been using that for an aphrodisiac. They could have even put it in food and drinks to be able to stimulate these masculines and feminines for sexual desires. Like ginkgo, bilba, wild oats, even chocolate them I deal with. And that would be binding for bondage, for a bargain, because they wanted to be able to bend them. They needed stuff. So in order for them to keep them, they had to do something. So they're making these like it was honey with flipping waffles to make it feel like it was sweet. And they want to share gratitude with these people. But these divine masculines see you like milk and honey and waffles because they see you as that milk and honey in that promised land. Because they've been awakened in their heart chakras now. And they see you and they're getting awareness and they're wanting that joy and abundance alongside you because that's peace. You're their nourishment. So April the 12th and 20th Passover and somewhere Shavuot from the 1st of June. So in between all of these times, they're getting their awakenings. They're getting their knowledge. They're getting their understanding. This is the times when they could be coming back around near you. And that's all within divine timing. So you got to just hold divine faith if you're wanting these back in your life. Trusting in the divine. Knowing that it's got provided for you. It's going to give to you. And you've got the full potential. Sorry. They must want to come in your mouth. You've got that full potential to continuously keep on moving forward. Because it's your personal nature. You're generating this through. You're generating care. And they want to be able to come and enable and support you and assist you and watch you. To know you. They don't want to leave you. They want to be by your side. They see you. They see your independence and they want your pleasure. Proverbs 12, 18, 19. The words of the reckless pierce like swords. So they're having arguments with these. And these feminines, you could even pierce them. But the tongue of the wise brings holding. And they wanted to be able to come and mirror you now because they see that you're wise. Even if you've cussed them and told them, you spoke to them in a wiseful way. And they're ongoing carnal. So they want that covenant with you. They want that ongoing covenant to be able to have that fulfillment. They want that relationship with you. And they want to be able to come and trust in a different kind of line. They want to be able to do it in a different way. They want to be able to come 18, 18 and meet your needs. for you. I am full of cold, guys, so if I sound like something else, boy, I can't breathe, not a back foot. You still got to do the work, because I still get the message. So we're going to see what's in this bag, stays out this bag. So what's in this bag, stays out this bag, this bag. This bag. This bag. So what's in this bag, stays out this bag. I have to be careful, because some of this has got some long information on. But obviously it is relevant throughout the situations of what we're going through and how we feel and what we think. So that's it. Let's see what I want for this. No. It says, battle between good bitches and bad ones. Yes, so it's that battle. So they're looking now, these karmics, it's that battle between the good ones. These masculines are identifying, recognizing. Six of Pentacles. You have a lot to give. Always sharing with others. So you've always got a lot to give. This person may be coming and saying, you got a lot to give. They may see that you've got a lot to give and may want something from you. Yin and yang, equal balance. If no balance, let go. So they know, if no balance, let go, because it's got to be an equal balance. We spoke about that. That cherubim's got to be right up in that brain. Christ-like, lift that energy up. Your willingness to be unconditional, service freely, give. Why don't you? So you give freely of your service. I will not be as long as you think I will be. So they won't be as long as you think they'll be, because that is coming back. They're having that spiritual awakening, dark night of the soul, loss of sleep, isolated, Nine of Swords. So they're in that Nine of Swords moment at the moment. Don't look at my nails, you know, bumble clock. Right. The connection, deep twin flame, baby. So this connection is a deep connection, twin flame, baby. So they're now getting that awakening, that spiritual awakening. El Shaddai is the dwelling, the Lamb, Revelations 21:22. So El Shaddai is the dwelling. They're having that in their brain. They're getting that know now. They're taking that Christ-like spirit up. You stated all that and didn't stutter. I stated all of that and didn't stutter. So you stated all what you state and didn't stutter. You just let it. That's me. Clinging, living in the moment. Contented. I can't even get that out. So you're contented, just living in the moment, at the moment. Not giving up, not giving in. Keep on moving, keep singing in. Don't give up, don't give in. Yourself, your treatment, and your spiritual faith. Use your body, spirit also to help the healing process. Psycho, neurology, immunology. So psycho-immunology. So basically use yourself to get yourself up, raise that frequency, raise that cherubim right up. Remember about the healer within, because you're the healer within. No false doctrines. So we don't need no false doctrines. You can heal yourself. You've got that mental mind. You can be a troublemaker. This person can be a troublemaker. They could say that you're a troublemaker. Self-esteem issues. They've got low self-esteem issues. You could have low self-esteem issues. I don't apologize. Kevin Gates. Look at this song. Listen to this song at Kevin Gates. Don't apologize. We in a gate divided either vibrate on or choose to vibrate high. Make sure you keep your head up when you told you won't be nothing. Told you was a problem. Labeled a problem child. Oh yes. I don't apologize. Yeah, listen to Kevin Gates. I love him. Expanding consciousness through the true mental body, the mind and the intellect, to take steps towards the heart. Knowledge from past and present solar systems in Egypt. These masculines are coming out of Egypt, that land of sin. They're looking at that. That's awakening them. That's getting into their cherubim. They're wakening up. Learning the language of silence. Spoken through my heart. My brain just serves as my mouth. The brain just is registering what is coming from the heart. That's what's happening. The brain's registering what's coming from your heart. All is mind. The universe is mental. The Kabbalion. All is mind. The universe is mental. The Kabbalion. Know what is going on with the body. So you need to know what's going on with the body. Airing the business on Facebook. It's not cutting it. So they're airing the business on Facebook. It's not cutting it. Canaanites. Those who turn away from you, you are the true God. They embraced adultery and immoral practice. So those divine feminines and masculines who turn to these karmics, they turned away from the true God to the karmics. They put me in a mental home. I'm not mental. spiritual awakening. So they could have put somebody in a mental home, said they was mental, they're not mental, they're just having a spiritual awakening. Amorites, the force of spiritual wickedness and pride, arrogant, boastful, resentful. The gods, your guidance, wrath, punishment, rebels. So these are getting wraths of punishment, rebels for fasting with you. Source, energy, version of myself, help others. So you're the source and energy of the version of yourself to help others. They wouldn't have got through shit like they did if you was not there. So they wouldn't have got through certain shit like they did if you was not there. CGI, computer generated imagery, still or animated pics. They'll be using on your ass. For more, I could be your best friend. I want you around all of the time. Spiritual and not religious. Thanks.